I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a chance for a quick bite to eat, and we turn around and after having the C event semifinals this afternoon, it is C event qualifiers from the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major. Shawn, Joyce, Ed Scimia with you once again. We've got Hannah Phillips once again, who we actually had for a full game this afternoon, even though we called her by the wrong name for two ends. I haven't had a chance to check with her, but I think one of the things that I've said before with teams when I worry about mispronouncing their names is as long as they spell it right on the giant check at the end of the day Sunday, they don't really care what we call them. So she's here in a chance to qualify and playing against Sayaka Yoshimura. First end already underway. They had a practice session before the game, both teams, and then draw to the button to determine who would have last rock here in the first end. Looks like it was Yoshimura winning the draw to the button. She's got last rock with the red stones, and the two teams trying to determine that's the fourth stone of the end there, trying to determine if it's still in the free guard zone. And I think they've elected to measure. Well, this is unheard of. When you need to measure and the stick is right there. Usually it's at the far end of the building.
This might be the earliest measure I've ever seen in a game too. Biter bar right there. Wow. Yeah.
Makes a huge difference because the other stone already biting, but it's on the center line, and it would be tough to, I mean, I guess you could play the hit on just the one. I think they've decided it's in, so she can play the double. Just catches one, pushes the second a little tighter into the 12-foot. And dead buried, although it's a short run if they decide to play it. Yoshimura had looked to come around first. Now they're looking to go open side. He come around at such a short run, it could be a run double.
Yeah, you split the house here. You put a little early pressure on Phillips to threaten to, put together a scoring end here of two or more. Give them something to think about.
This one needs to think about slowing down. It's not going to. We saw this a little bit in the game this afternoon. I don't... Curling season hasn't started for me yet. The stopwatch is still in the bag. So I haven't run the watch on these draws, but we saw a number of draws heavy in the last draw too, and maybe it's getting just a little keener here on Saturday with a few less sheets in play. It's just always surprising to me when they're throwing through the house in the first end after having that 10-minute practice before.
Yeah, I have to wonder if the ice maybe started out a little slow for them in practice and has picked up quick.
I think we were able to see a little bit of the practice. Yoshimura did have the first practice session, so they've been off for a little bit. Makes that short run now. Is she going to tell us if it's in? Does it matter? You might have to play it anyway. It's very tight to the rings. Looking to kill all three yellows here if she could. Going to be a little thick on the first one, I think. Just gets the 2, touches the other one, but loses the shooter. That's good. Just the 1 rock in front of the house now.
Yeah, I left the one the furthest off the center line too. So, other than making all 3 about as good as you could do it.
Nice come around there on a stone that's only about a foot out front of the rings.
Yeah,
Yoshimura,
we talked about this. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just peeking at. I talked about it being C event Saturday, but I hadn't looked yet to see who had played 3 games. I've looked at the Yoshimura team now. This is just their second game today. They didn't have to play the morning draw. There is always that possibility for a team playing in the C qualifiers that they've played 3 today. I don't think either of these teams played 3 today, it looks like.
We saw the game earlier with Phillips and the ice conditions we were talking about. Speaking of that, come around from such a tight guard.
Yeah.
Something you can do here because it's so much late break on the ice, like from the hog line in. As you said, they were getting 3 feet of break in some lines from the hog line to when it would stop or in the house.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what it feels like to them on the ice. We've got a great that camera view from behind the thrower, but up high, really gives you a good view of how much late movement is, because here's a good example of it right here. You can see the line as to where that rock is when it crosses the hog line, and it's already walking. And as a player myself, I don't know if you get as good of a view of that from ice level as what you get from this camera shot. Look at where that ended up, and you saw where it crossed the hog line. Like, if you're close to a guard, you're open on the other side.
Yep.
Could just follow it down, but she's looking at the run double. Try to keep the blank alive. Even if you just stuff it onto the first one, that stone at the back of the 8 would then be shot rock, but you'd be in a pretty good position in the front of the house. Yuna Katani is the third. This is going to overcurl on them.
Okay.
Just peels out the guard.
Piece there. Well, at this point in the end, I think both teams are going to look at this as a likely force. Phillips not in a great position to steal by any means, but it's going to be real hard to get back to that blank situation for Yoshimura.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure where she's playing this one.
Yeah, me either. I don't know if she's putting...
If you just guard what's there, she's going to freeze the back one. And you might give up 2.
Yeah. Because it looked like maybe they're playing to the inside of that one and maybe at the top of the rings. I'm not sure.
That's what I'd like that.
Yeah.
Get it into the 12-foot. She makes one double or the other, doesn't matter. You still can sit 2 and have the force.
Right. Nope, they're just playing the street.
Playing the guard. Well, they haven't touched it yet. They might be coming in whether they wanted to or not. No, starting to curl now. Well, you might have left her enough to play the double anyway.
Yeah, because my first instinct was like, that's not going to curl enough. We can, if we're red, we can come around, try to build our deuce, which they're also looking at, it looks like. But you have room to, it left so much room that, yeah, I think you could make the double if you wanted to.
There's nothing wrong with the draw. Like, as soon as they called the guard, I was thinking, if you make your shot, she's coming around.
Yeah.
They're, given this call, they're actually perhaps fortunate that they didn't get the guard lined up, because if Yoshimura happens to stop in front of the tee line now, you can still see enough of your own yellow to play the short.
Yep.
Slash.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, like they had a little bit of a fortunate.
Unintentionally ended up in a pretty good spot
there. Yeah.
Sayaka Yoshimura with her first stone here in the first end. She does have last rock, facing 2, looking for the freeze. This looks like it's got a nice line at the hog line. Comes to just back 4 foot. It is buried in front of that yellow stone.
And as you said, though, the access to that top yellow now important, because you can play it, although they got it back far enough that it's not an easy...
Yeah, it's not a gimme, right?
It's not, yeah.
If she goes over the top of the red, it still jams on the back one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't have the entire red to play with. Yeah.
And if she tries to follow it down and sit on top of it, Yoshimura might be able to play the yellow doubles, knowing that the red's going to jam at the back too. Mm-hmm. So I guess she's going to take a pass at it. You got to get close to the nose. If you're on the outside, it could jam. Hannah Phillips with her final stone in the first end, looking for the little angle run on her own stone in the 8 foot onto shot rock, back 4. Trying to make it curl. She's a long ways on the outside yet. It will go completely over the top. And so Sayaka Yoshimura will have the chance to draw. Just needs the same shot she just threw. If she's full 8 foot or better, she'll pick up her 2 points here in the opening end.
Yeah, deuce really created late in the end when it did not look like there was much there for Yoshimura, but the guard combined with that rock behind the tee line was enough to give her room to set something up and test Phillips with a tricky shot on her last.
Sayaka probably put her first draw in as good a spot as she could have.
Mm-hmm.
She made, if she's right down to it, then she probably follows it. If she's any higher, that little slash is a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't have walked it down, I don't think, to a better spot. And now she'll try to walk it down again. Pressures are on this one, though. Now they've eased up a bit. Needs full 8 foot. They'll bring it right down beside and touching the stone they threw on the first one. 2 points for Sayaka Yoshimura to start things off here in this C qualifying action. Hannah Phillips will have last rock when we come back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
What do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Out turn.
Nice.
2-0 as we begin play here in the second end. The first stone brought into the top 12 foot. We saw this Phillips team this afternoon, and one thing that I will say about them is that they seem to be taking a little bit more ice than everybody else, so maybe a little soft on their releases. This is, you look at where she's got the broom here, past the middle of the 8 foot. Looking for the corner guard on the other side. You know, we'll see for most of the teams broom off center, maybe by a foot. She's got a full 2 feet more, 1.5 feet more than any of the other teams have.
Maybe didn't move quite as much as they expected, but
maybe didn't move as much, or maybe not as tight as they would have liked it. Like if she gets that to a tighter guard, it's probably out in the middle of the 8 foot. That's one thing. We haven't really talked about that a lot this weekend, but especially when you're trying to throw a guard on an existing rock in the house, when the ice curls this hard and this late, you really have to match your guard weight to the broom. If you're trying to throw a tight guard, you better throw it tight, because if you're only halfway, it won't have had enough time to curl.
Sure.
And that's where those long guards become so tricky on ice like this, because you've got, depending on how high you're trying to throw it, like 10, 12 feet less room to curl.
Right.
And all the movement's late. So it can be real tricky to line those rocks up. Anna Omias slides to the back 12 foot, and now Sasha Tran, chance for the double. Probably more interested. You just get the hit and roll behind the yellow guard is great, and I think if you make that, you're pretty close to getting the double over the top. But that's a bonus.
Yeah, it looks about right.
Don't
and
really need the second one. They need the roll.
Yeah, if you ever don't touch the second one, you're not worried about it.
No.
Yeah.
Touches it a little solid, jams it. Rolled mostly undercover. And an important part of this shot is that this is still the 5th stone. So they have to be a little careful coming by the guard. It isn't on the center line, so it's not in the no-tick zone, but it's still in the free guard zone. Nothing out of the brushers yet. It's still got a lot of room, and trying to make it curl now. He's going to touch that stone. All they can do is watch it and wish it was behind the tee line. They couldn't brush it. It
Yeah.
stops full 12. I already knew from my own experience that when you talk to those rocks in English, it doesn't help. It doesn't look like it helps when you talk to them in Japanese either. It wouldn't
We'll figure out the rock language one of these years.
Wouldn't roll far enough. Anna Monroe looking to come around the guard now. It's the red stone at the back of the rings belonging to Yoshimura that's shot rock for now, but they'll try to get a good one in here for shot. I don't think you want to be too deep here. If you're full 4 foot, you might see Yoshimura try the double off the side one.
Yeah, I think you really do want to stay parallel or higher, which
no danger there.
Even though they're not counting yet, no worries.
Not counting yet, no worries. Exactly. That red one is always going to be wide open. You'll have a chance to play it whenever you want. Onodera this time looking to roll behind cover herself. Going to be a little thin again, I think. It's going to roll past the guard. Get a little spin back? No. A little spin back would have been nice at the end for her. Then there wouldn't be room to roll under.
Yeah, even if you just tuck that corner, it changes things quite a bit. But yeah, they'll play under. And again, you might accidentally get the double. Depending on where you catch this, if you can just catch a piece of that.
I don't know if you can get
You
far
probably
enough
don't.
under
You probably
this time.
don't get to it. Yeah.
You know, they're looking at rolling under. The other options that could roll towards the other red stone at the back.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit in front of it or slightly on the inside of it.
Yeah, on average ice conditions, I think I'd be playing that shot every day. Maybe here with the amount of curl they're getting, they think they can get to the inside.
But I think she's close.
Yeah.
Gets
Not
a
bad.
sliver under. That little sliver that they got underneath makes it very tough for, I guess it's Yuna Katani now, the third, to stay right there. And if she rolls back to the other side of the center, she might leave the double and the roll behind cover. Makes the hit. Does roll just to the other side of the center line. And if you roll behind cover now, you're making contact with that stone back there for sure. It might dead jam. It's hard to know. Depends on the weight you throw, I guess.
Yeah, it would depend on the weight you throw it. Because you can make this shot at whatever weight you want. It's a little easier to do it at a nice controlled weight, but I'd have to see the angles a little better to know where you need to.
Yeah, it kind of looks like with the quieter weight, you're
other.
close to the jam if you make the roll.
Yeah.
Well, this is going hard on them. They might have lost the line. Gets the double. Actually, that works out okay because she rolled well over to the edge of the 12-foot.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as you aren't near that those stacked rocks, I think you're well set up here.
Yeah, sitting 2 now, and if you roll buried, you're going to be back 8 foot, and on this ice, they can make a play at that stone to move it if they want to. Not going to get any roll hits and stays right there.
Now, they certainly want to hit. I don't know about rolling behind those yellows because you're going to roll well behind the tee line. And
I was going to ask, are you sure
center.
you certainly want to hit?
Yeah. Well, okay.
And,
I mean, you could
say that.
Could.
Yeah. And you could see as we shoot the overhead, you could see why I'm asking that. Because if she rolls behind the cover, she's going to be just back of the tee line.
Yeah. No, we definitely don't want to roll. I mean, you shouldn't want to roll. And they were pointing at the roll, but you really don't want to roll under cover.
But you nose hit it, and it gives them the chance to hit and roll in front of the tee line.
That's
you
true.
could just draw.
Yeah, you're always going to have that red rock, as we said before. It's not going anywhere. As you said, they roll right behind tee.
And now you're one freeze away from being in trouble, and here's the attempt. Actually, if she was going to roll that way, she'd have been better off to roll well past the guard into the 8 foot on the other side. That might have been a case more of they were looking at what they could make instead of what they were going to leave.
Sure.
Made the shot. But
yeah, that's exactly what they called it.
Left a shot to get you in some trouble here. Sometimes you have to think about those things. The other team's good too.
And this Yoshimura team is very, very good. I mean, this is
I'd have been okay with
official
the
world
draw.
rankings, but they're somewhere around the 10th best team in the world in most systems I've seen. Yeah,
they play a lot too. I think this might have been the
do.
team that I mentioned this afternoon. I had one game earlier, and I think it might have been Yoshimura, and I haven't looked here, but they were playing. This is their 6th event already. I mean,
yes,
that's a dramatic difference. Like they're mid-season compared to a team playing in their first event. That's significant, the difference in what you can expect for execution. Line looks pretty good here.
Couldn't make it much better than that.
No, yeah. Not a lot of scoring area left. She didn't get right to the face. You could maybe come down and try to just jiggle that enough to break the existing freeze, but it's really important to keep your shooter in front of that red rock. If you could ever come down with just, just barely back 8 foot weight and get to about 2/3 of that redstone.
Yeah, you release your yellow while
Yeah.
having room to get rid of the red on your last rock if you get the opportunity.
And probably still shot rock, I would think, if you're 2/3.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Does require a very precise shot, though, and this is all, again, set up by maybe rolling to a spot that they shouldn't have been trying to roll to.
I think we've seen that at all levels of curling. It can be just so tempting to just make that hit and roll that rolls behind the guards without thinking, as you said, about what you're leaving by doing that and how your opponent can use your rock sometimes against you. And yeah, it's a lesson that we all learn many times.
So looking to follow down that corner freeze with her first. Hannah Phillips with last rock here as we play in the second. Pressure's really working to hold the line here. She's close. Really didn't break the freeze enough.
No, and got a little bit of a bounce there.
Yeah. Yeah, Yoshimura's got room to hit and flop under, but even if she just hits it right on the nose.
Yeah, that second red stone's going nowhere.
It's going nowhere, but I don't think you want to lose that yellow one either, and it's hard to tell. They're so close together.
Oh, I'm saying, if you hit that yellow on the nose, there's going to be no way to remove the second red. I mean, you're going to have to draw to score.
Well, you're sure the yellow clears the red? Like I'm thinking if you hit the yellow red on the nose,
maybe not.
You might touch the red and break the freeze, because then you might leave a double on the reds.
You might just have to get to the to the low side here.
I need a 58-inch screen to tell. There's not a lot of air. If there's air between the yellow and the red, there's not much.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, if you could just pass it by the red and keep as much of the forefoot as you can, like she's going to need to draw to the button, and she's only going to be able to see about half of it. Oh, that's a good shot.
Apparently you could get by.
That's a good shot. Well, she did get a little bit to the inside. But there's the problem. You look at it. She just about needs to bite button, and she can only see half of it. This is where you wish it was an 18-inch button, and it's not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about an inch and a half better than full 4.
Yeah, this is where it kind of hurts them that as a rule, they need a little bit more ice. Now she's taking the same ice here that you see with a lot of the other teams, so maybe got to throw this a little bit more rotation. Give the brushes a chance. You know it's going to curl at the end. The tricky part is if it starts to curl too early, you'll never get it by that stone at the top of the forefoot.
Right.
Had nice weight on the last draw. Just didn't get quite the line they were looking for. Hannah Phillips down 2-0 as we play here in the second, facing 2 in the forefoot. Needs to draw to what she can see of the button to pick up her single point. Both brushes down right away. And this is curling early.
Oh, I think they're on the reds. Might just be light anyway.
They're not gonna get to it anyway, but
yeah.
It is a steal of 2 here in the second inning for Sayaka Yoshimura. She takes a 4-0 lead in this C event qualifier. Hannah Phillips will once again have last rock when we come back for the third.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Shawn, Joyce at Scimia with you here live from the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major. C event qualifiers, Sayaka Yoshimura with a 4-0 lead here as we begin in the third end. Hannah Phillips again looking for the corner guard.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be seeing Phillips step on the gas a bit now. Down 4, they're going to have to play aggressively even if things don't shape up too well for them. Don't have to go crazy yet, but yeah, down 4 against a very strong team, you're going to have to put together a couple multiples on your next couple hammers, I think.
Gets a good corner guard there. That was, part of how they got in trouble last end when they threw the corner guard. They didn't get it tight enough to the rings, and so it wasn't very far off the center line.
Yeah, that's right. It was both short and just maybe a rock length off the center line. As you said, all the late movement there that You can't throw to the same spot if you're throwing
Well,
a
you
short
don't.
guard or a long guard. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think about it as much when it's the only guard up there, but it's a problem if you're trying to guard an existing stone because
Right.
you have to throw it wherever the skip puts the broom down. If they've called for a tight guard, it has to be a tight guard. Otherwise, it won't have had room to curl far enough. Sometimes on ice where the curl's a little bit more gradual all the way down, you can almost call for guard, and it's almost an area play because they're all going to end up on the similar line.
Right.
Not so much when all the movement is late.
Right.
Well, they were looking to come around here now. That red stone still on the center line. It's in a no-tick zone. It does make the port. They were in danger of touching that stone, and it doesn't have very far to move, and it's off the line. Yeah. Well, the penalty's pretty severe because your shooter would come off and the stone would have moved back the quarter inch or so that they would have moved it. But
right.
They switched the brush pretty early on that one just to try to make the fort. Yoshimura sitting one side of the 4-foot. The front of the house starting to get a little congested. Looking to bring another one in partway around the center guard, so to Christmas tree the back one, so to speak.
Wasn't sure if that term was also in use in Canada, but now I know. Thank you.
It originated in Canada. It was Colleen Jones is the one that tends to get the credit for it.
Okay. I was going to say just stagger the rocks to be safe, but now I know our audience can handle the history terminology.
I had to do. I was doing a game last year at our provincials, and we actually had a professional announcer, which we've never had before, doing the play-by-play, and he had asked why they called it a Christmas tree, and I had the telestrator in my hand, so I was the one that had to draw it. Makes the run, clips the stone out of the top of the 8-foot. They'll try pretty much the same come around again. Now it'll be a yellow one coming back if they try the running back again. Keho Onodera being asked to make the same shot twice in a row. And making it look easy. Might even have made the second one a little bit better.
Yeah, that was as we've been saying on some of these, can't walk it down any better probably.
Yeah, she gave her a little bit more separation, so this run back a little tougher.
It's tight out of hand.
Yeah, she was already touching center when she let that go. Oh, I thought they were going to get fortunate off the touch on the second guard, but actually pushes it all the way through the back.
Yeah. And Yoshimura looking to take all the life out of the end, at least for Phillips, in terms of getting a big end here. Just peel the guard, and if you get a roll over and guard your own, that's great, but just getting rid of this guard alone does a lot.
I think she's playing street peel here. Yeah, some big weight. You're not trying to hold the shooter here.
Perfect.
I was going to ask, so what do you do? And then before I could ask, you saw Hannah Phillips turn around and look at the scoreboard.
Look at the
Yeah, they
it's
got
very
to
telling,
decide.
just looking at the scoreboard. Yeah.
Do we just blank this one and keep the hammer, or do we have to try to do something? And it's only the third end.
Yeah, you have plenty of time. Although, like, as I was saying, you're gonna and you have to play for multiples. Really, down 4 against a very strong team here. But you've got plenty of ends in which to do that. So yeah, I think the blank's the right play, the right direction to go in anyway.
Yeah, if you try to salvage a chance for a deuce here, you could very easily get forced. Overcurled another hit, though, and jams it. Rolls the shooter out of play. Shot rock belongs to Yoshimura's side of the button. And she's content to play for the force, so she's going to split the house.
Emphatically just saying that we want the force, and we're up 4.
Now, if she makes this head, does this change your call if you're Hannah Phillips? It's tough to get back to a blank now. Do you try to?
It might have to, yeah. You might have to try something, a freeze or a light freeze tap on the one on the button or something, just to maybe dream yourself into a 2.
Well, it might be your only way back to the blank too. If you make a semi-good freeze and they have to blast it out and lose their shooter, maybe you get back to a blank that way. But it's every time you start to have conjecture about something like this. Oh no, it's good. I thought it was going to slide deep enough to leave a double, but
they're dying a bit in the house. It seems like I think a few times we've really thought they're going to go, and it is deep enough that I get what she's thinking here. You might as well hit and roll towards it. And
well, I'm not entirely sure they're not thinking double. That's a tough double. I'd be content to just try to group them on this one.
Exactly.
Makes the hit with the big weight. She will come right into the side of that other red stone. It's a pretty good shot.
Very nicely done. Does make it a lot harder to get these rocks separated again.
Skip stones here in the third end. Yoshimura with a 4-point lead. Looking to hit shot stone, sit 2 again here in the third. Looking to curl a little bit, get some separation on these two, but it's going to hit right on the nose. Well, this is your chance for the double to get back to a blank.
Yeah, I think, they're talking probably just wait in line where they want their rock to end up, but I think that's the only play here.
Might be hard to hold the shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
The double's the most important thing on this one, I think.
Yes.
There's enough air between
whether
the two
you
of them.
keep your shooter or not, you're headed to you're headed to a blank either way, so it's not very important.
It kind of looks like you're looking for about a half a rock here, maybe a thick half. Hard to hold the shooter with that much, because she's not going to be babying this down the ice. It's going to have a little bit of weight here, probably at least a normal hit. Little extension at the end, and brushes on right away. Did they overcook it? No, she looks like she's pretty close. With the big weight, she has enough action to spin it out, and her shooter rolls all the way across the house and out of play.
And Yoshimura just going to give her another part of the ice to look at on her hit for the blank.
Won't take them long to get turned around to go play the fourth. They've already got 14 rocks in the back corner. Some of those ends, you see, by the time they kick the rocks off, everybody's tired.
Yeah.
You should get quarry worker wages for some of these ends when they have to kick all the rocks off. Yoshimura has had excellent draw weight already here in this qualifying game. This will be her chance to see if the speed's the same towards the corner. And so just one stone left to come. Sorry, Ed. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's hardly a pressure shot, but I have been very impressed. And Yoshimura's draw weight's just been entirely on point this game. Very consistent.
It has. I had one game of hers earlier, and she's an outstanding drawer. It's probably psychologically, as much as anything else, nice to get one chance to draw away from the center like that in case she gets a chance to do it later. So much of the we talk about this at nauseam, but so much of the pregame and the gameplay itself goes towards the middle. So you get very comfortable with that shot very quickly. Sometimes the speed's different to the corners, and it's just nice as the skip to get one of those in your back pocket early so that you've got an idea. That's the kind of draw later on in the game that they could set up 2 or 3. Uh-oh.
This could be heading towards a 1. Yeah, almost on the nose.
Well, if there's such a thing as a skip's deuce, I guess that's the skip single. Hannah Phillips gets stuck with 1 here in the third end. She is on the board, but now trails 4-1. Sayaka Yoshimura will have last rock in the fourth.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Asham Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Asham Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at asham.com.
Four to 1 as we begin play here in the fourth. Yoshimura with the lead and last rock. Unfortunate last stone for Hannah Phillips as she nose hit the blank attempt. Ed, we had this Phillips team this afternoon, and it's only 3 ends and things could still turn around, but I think fair to say so far their execution was a little sharper this afternoon in the semifinal against Silvernagle.
Yeah, really played a very strong game, especially in terms of execution, as you said, against another very strong opponent in Robin Silvernagle, and just been a little off this game. Half misses when you can't have them, 1 or 2, rocks rolling to places that benefited Yoshimura, and that's how you get to 4-1 after 3 ends.
And here again with the execution, not able to get the guard on the center line, so it can be ticked. We don't get to see that shot much anymore. And how good was that?
Yeah, I couldn't make that better. That was put that yellow rock right into irrelevance. And
for a shot you don't get to play very often anymore, she sure made it well.
Yeah. Not that it ever wasn't important, but yeah, the no tick rule makes the line on these shots just so critical, because the difference between having a rock that can't be moved and a rock that just can't be removed is huge, especially at this level.
And another mistake, even a little worse. This one's right into the rings, so it could be hit. There's actually a double there. She doesn't really need the double. She hits and rolls over. She sits 2. How hard do you have to gamble here if you're Hannah Phillips?
I think you're throwing a couple more center guards at least. Okay. I don't think you have to gamble the whole end. I think
tend to agree, but it's hard to get back to forcing a blank now.
It is. Now you could, if you think you can make this double, you can try to play for a force, I suppose. But yeah. I think you at least want to try to group the 2 red rocks here. Move your rock in towards the...
I don't mind the guard. You probably have to cross center now, maybe a foot on the other side of center, just where half a rock on either side risks jamming onto one of those redstones.
Yeah. Yeah, I also still like the guard. If you're going to play the hit, I'm thinking about how exactly you do that, and unfortunately this one's hanging a little bit, not exactly what they wanted.
We could always hit later. You play the guard now, and Yoshimura is going to play it, right? So it's not like you have to worry about her bringing a third one in right away.
Right.
Give her the chance to make a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying, I would have been throwing center guards for at least a couple more rocks at some point. Maybe reevaluate and say we're not completely out of the game. Let's not let things get out of hand, but. Giving up right out of the free guard zone was not the time to do it. You had to throw a couple more, I think.
Yeah, and I'm sure part of what she's thinking, well, we don't want to let her draw for 3. Well, why not? She's not drawing. She's going to hit the guard.
Yeah, exactly.
So put a guard up in a spot where it's tough to peel it. There's still that possibility. You'd have to be a little higher, but if you're splitting the center line a little more than halfway up, again, we're looking at half a rock on either side is close to a jam, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And it's real tough to get back to a blank end from house that's split like this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that holding them to 2 really helps you at this point in the game.
No, you can't be giving up deuces now, being down 5 with 4 ends to play. Just your chances of winning are extremely remote, especially against a very strong team. Yeah.
And I'm not saying she's going to miss the peel, but you got a better chance of getting a half shot where they jam it on something and roll it through, and then you get back to the blank. You're not getting back to the blank. She's not going to wide open miss anything.
Right.
And by playing the rocks in the rings, you're hoping for a wide open miss to get back to a blank. It's just not very likely to happen. Keho Onodera having a very strong game as well, and she once again splits the house pretty even.
Yeah, I can't ask for anything much better with the lead with Hammer. You've got a split house, no guards, and as you said, really tough to bring this back to anything that resembles a blank or a force of any kind. barring a very bad miss by the Yoshimura team, or we've seen no signs of so far. They're playing great.
Going to get a roll towards the middle this time. So the Yellowstone and the 8-foot sits shot rock. Yuna Kotani will try to roll back to the corner. Not going to roll the direction they want. It stays pretty much right there. Still pretty even and a lot of space between those two stones.
Yeah, I was going to
I'm
say.
I'm not worried about the red run.
No. You got to do something. If you're going to hit, it's got to be a hard rollover.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
do you not think that's what she was gesturing? Like, I think it's the front end said we could roll behind the red, and the hand gesture I saw from Hannah, I think, was that she's worried if they roll behind the red, she's going to leave the short run. I don't think you can worry about that
right now.
Well,
No.
if you leave a short run and she makes it, you should have a double back. So
Yeah.
this is your chance to get the rocks grouped for sure. And I might be wrong about what the discussion was. It's hard to, we don't have mics on the players, so we're kind of guessing from the hand gestures and such, but there was definitely a suggestion that came from the hack end. I could see it on the other camera. Somebody was suggesting something, and Hannah made the hand gesture, so.
Yeah.
Kate Goodhelpson.
Certainly before they threw the rock, there was a debate over where they wanted to roll for sure. This may overcurl on them, though.
Yeah. Not going to get the good help she needed on that one. I get to use that pun at least once a game. That's such a good name. There's so many crows. There's one that plays out of Saskatchewan and played with Cooey, so a lot of people will know the name Colton Flash, who the joke has been made too many times by too many people that he's got one of the most unfortunate names for a curler that you can imagine. Yuna Katana with the draw. Splits the house one more time. Katani, pardon me. Her first thought was to try to come around that red stone in the top of the F and the fountain tire. It's makeable on this ice.
Yeah, it's extremely aggressive, but are you playing to win the game? And maybe at this point, it's what you're looking at, because it's very difficult not to give two here.
Well, you play this whole end like you're going to concede to. I think if you wanted to play the aggressive, it goes back to what we talked earlier. You could have thrown the guards earlier, and it's just so tough to play an aggressive shot this late in the end.
Oh yeah, now and it's less effective now. I mean, it's there. You could theoretically make it work out, but you're leaving the short run, which now would be a problem because you still have that red rock on the other side of the ice. Yeah, it's you may have just committed yourself to giving up a deuce, which is unfortunate given the scoreboard, but yeah.
And again, throwing the center guard earlier, it's not like you're expecting a wide open miss or a nose hit,
right. But
if there's stuff to jam on, things can happen. You got a chance at a half shot because you made it a little trickier. They played the whole end in the house. They have not given the Yoshimura team a hard shot yet. Makes a nice hit here. I think what they'll hope for is Yoshimura hit that on the nose again, or maybe roll a little bit to the center line side, and then you're high enough up in the rings you could try the long roll all the way across and get underneath those two stones on the corner. Not an easy shot, but it would get you out of jail here.
Yeah.
And it should be high enough. Like where it was, if you tried to roll all the way across on the last shot, you'd have been, by the time you're underneath the red, you'd have been borderline whether you'd been too far back in the 12-foot to be shot rock.
Yeah, no question. If this is one rock higher, you're going to have plenty of room. It's just a matter of making the long roll.
It's still a tough shot.
Yeah.
But a tough shot that's possible is still better than a tough shot that's
it's
not.
better than that's not. Yeah.
The one thing we can say about it, from what we've seen of her so far in these last two games, a long roll, you're going to need to throw a little bit of weight. She does throw the up weight very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yoshimura will roll over just a little bit towards the center line. That makes this roll a little shorter. And now instead of a 10-foot roll, she needs 8. It's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, but of course, it's the only shot there. This is what you throw, and if you make it great, hey, you probably get your force. So.
That looks like a lot of ice to me.
Yeah, because you're going to need a long roll.
Yeah, it's hard to make.
Throw some weight.
I get trying to control it with the sweepers, but when you're trying to roll that far, it's really hard to do it with the quieter weight.
Mm-hmm.
Final stone to the end for Hannah Phillips without last rock, looking to hit and roll all the way across the house to bury somewhere. She actually threw the weight I thought she needed, but that was a lot of ice for that weight. The broom didn't match the weight she was throwing. I thought where the broom was, she wasn't throwing it that hard, but
that was my assumption too, that they had decided they were going to play a little bit of a quieter weight, but.
So Sayaka Yoshimura with last rock here in the fourth. Just needs to hit and stay in the 12-foot. She can pick up another deuce. Deuce is wild for Yoshimura. She'd be up 6-1 at the break. Little back on the release, but it's got that nice soft weight. Will come up to hit about 3/4, roll to the center line. Yoshimura picks up 2 more. Deuce is in 1, 2, and 4. She's got a 6-1 lead over Hannah Phillips going into the fourth end break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't know her. Fourth end break here from the C qualifier. Yoshimura with deuces in 1, 2, and again here in 4 now has a 6-1 lead. Hannah Phillips will have last rock after the break.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Teams just getting set to return to the ice after the break. They had a break at the end of 4 ends and an opportunity to chat with the coaches. And if you're the coach, Ed, for the Phillips team, well, I don't know what sport analogy you want to use. I'm in Canada. I'm using a hockey reference. I think it's time you tell them we're going to have to pull the goalie and start trying to score here.
You know, it's football season, and CFL, NFL, or college, and we're going to have to air the ball out a little bit here. It's halftime. We're down by 21 points. It's,
no more defensive shots.
No.
This is when you're thankful they've got the 5 rock free guard zone, because threes happen. You're going to get a chance to throw two corner guards, and whether you throw them on the same side or opposite side, different teams have different approaches to that. I do find that interesting. In the last 2 weeks between the men's play and the women's play here in Beaumont, because of the way it curls, it seems like most teams have opted to play both guards on the same side of the house. And I think part of that is if you split the house with corner guards on this stuff, you could take away any path you might have to the button. And you like to have that path available on one turn or the other for your last shot.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just making sure that one side of the ice remains accessible to you in case the end, or even if the end goes well and you're looking and you have to make a draw at the end. It makes some sense.
The old traditional way to throw the 2 guards is you'd split the house, but with the big late movement, and we saw it a couple of times this afternoon where teams rubbed the outside corner guard trying to come through on a draw. That movement is so late, the rock stays out there forever, and the corner guards can be in the way.
Yeah, and this could be a case where even if theoretically the 2 opposite sides splitting the house with the guards is is more correct or whatever, even if it is, and I'm not sure
traditional. I don't know that it is right or wrong.
But even if it was, there's practical considerations, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at this ice and you're saying this is not going to work because we need to be able to draw to the center, and we can't if we put up these opposite guards.
You'd like to be able to establish 1 or perhaps 2 behind a corner guard, and then you're kind of hoping you're drawing with your last one. I mean, it won't necessarily always work out that way, but if it does, you better have a path.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, having said that, if they're trying to throw 2 corner guards up on the same side, they didn't get that one in a great spot. You'd like it either tighter or really long, because it's hard to get separation.
You're looking for the 1-3 guards, not a 2 guard in there. Yeah.
Well, they just showed you there's still room to make the draw to the button on that side. I'd be tempted to throw the corner to the other side. Just because it's hard not to group the corner guards. She won't be able to peel them yet, but eventually she's going to be able to peel them, and she's got a 6-1 lead. She's going to peel guards.
Absolutely. And yeah, as you said, because that guard is in the middle of the guard zone in terms of depth, wherever you put this on the same side, you're almost certainly leaving a makeable double peel. That having been said, that's about as good as you can do to separate them.
That's a really, really good shot and really well managed by the brushers. It's hard to throw that stone. It's hard to sweep it because it looks like a hog most of the way down.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the best setup that Phillips has had to start an end. She's got some rocks to work with.
Right.
That's probably not where they wanted that. You never like to leave your two rocks that close together because it gives Phillips a chance to do something with them, and it's up to her. She could play the double. Now, down 5, I wouldn't. But if she plays this with quiet weight, you hit that right on the nose. You're going to chip one behind the tee line on one side, the other one behind the tee line behind the two corner guards, and your shooter stays in front of the third red stone. You're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you've set up an end where there are several problems for Yoshimura to deal with, and several places where you can score depending on how the end plays out at that point.
They're going to be able to hold the line. Might overcurl the nose.
Overcurling.
Of the options that we talked about, I would say that's the most important one, though. She put a rock behind the tee line behind the guards. So now she's got she's got protection from both sides on that corner, the front and the back.
Yeah, considering you're never really looking to make a double there anyway, it's only hurts a little bit that you left the other rock up. It's, you would have liked to have moved it back too, but you put the rock in the, as you said, in the most important place, which was getting one near the guard behind the tee line.
I don't mind this call either. And it's a patient call, which I kind of wish she would have played another guard. Oh no, maybe she's not playing the guard. I thought she was playing another guard. This is last end when we were hoping she'd play a couple more guards. She came in a little too early.
Yeah.
I don't mind the freeze. I don't think you need to play the two reds in the middle yet.
No, I think it's fine to leave them there at least for 1 to 2 more rocks. You can't wait forever. At some point they'll say okay, and make it hard to get rid of them if you haven't threatened anything yet, really. But yeah, I think you come in there and
with this ice, she's playing it with similar weight. She could maybe get both out of it, chip the red over, and roll in front of that one at the back or in behind cover.
Yeah, I think that was the call. Yeah, which is fine. It's just that you could just also, if you want to,
it's a tougher shot.
Red, you could also just draw. Yeah. Deal with the reds later. This is gonna overcurl on her. Oh, no, maybe not.
No, she's hitting the high one, I think.
Yeah, she was, and she should. I was looking at the wrong rock on the monitor. She's quite nice.
That's really good.
On top of it,
but she's in behind. She got in behind cover. It's not critical to be shot right now.
No, not at all.
Actually left the red that she touched on the back 12-foot where there's the potential jam if they decide to go after that yellow in the 12 as well.
Yeah, I nearly said, and then we got into the Yoshimura shot that also was important on the, if you want to call it a half miss on first shot there for Phillips, that they stuck their shooter on the side. They kept it in play because that rock's going to be dangerous later.
I'm shocked she hasn't gone out to peel the guard yet.
Yeah.
Peel the guard, have your shooter come towards that rock in the 12-foot. Maybe you kill it. I'm not ever playing it straight back.
Yeah, you simplify everything. And
moral victory, if nothing else, for Hannah Phillips. She's made her think a little bit more. Their execution has been really good this end.
Yes. Yeah, I think they've
look at that last roll.
Either made exactly what they called or got everything they needed to get out of the one shot.
Well, they had the weight, right? The first tick that over curled on them, they had the quiet enough weight to make sure they didn't lose the shooter. They tapped it. They didn't kill the red stone either. They left it in the back of the house. You overthrow a stone like that, you probably roll out. So
yeah, that's critical in those spots. And I mean, almost any spot with this kind of scoreboard. Good lesson for anyone who's relatively new to curling. You don't want to throw a lot of weight. You don't really want to be removing rocks. You want to just be moving them back. And keeping your rocks in play, all of which is more likely to happen if you tone down the weight.
Took them a while to get there, but they are going to play the peel on the guard.
Yeah, it's the natural shot to call here too. So, as you said, you were surprised they talked about it so long, but they ended up deciding it's what to call. So, not like there aren't other options, but that's the first shot that comes to mind and makes a lot of sense. It can't be wrong. It can't be very wrong.
It's never wrong to peel the guard when you're up 5.
Yep, exactly.
Unikatani looking to hit the guard. Now will the shooter come across? No, over top of the one in the rings.
Was that broom? Are we putting the guard back for now?
Oh, yeah, I think so. You have to. Yeah. We're on third's first stone. I think you have to replace it at least once.
Yeah.
Nice guard, as we said. Not necessarily easy to put a guard on an existing rock. She's got those two dead lined up.
Mm-hmm.
You do that, she's coming around again. I think you have to peel the guard.
Yeah, I think you got to peel the guard again.
Because there's a double on the reds. You can't just give her a chance to loop another one around. She's going to try to get there first. I don't even know if this is a good shot if you make it. Like, I'd need to see the overhead. But can you come off that red? But if you come off that red at the top of the 4, could you not come into the?
You might be able to get all 3 around
into the pocket. Yeah.
Yeah. Just
depending where you sit this, right?
Yeah.
There's no reason for her not to try it anyway. Oh, I think the triple's there.
Yeah.
If you're half a rock on the center line one, you're coming onto the back end of the one that was just thrown.
Yeah.
And then straight back.
Just pointing it out.
You'd love to be able to wait one more shot to play it, but I don't think you can.
No, I think if you don't throw it now, you may never get an opportunity.
Yeah. Kate's going to go down and take a look. I think it's there because you got to look at where you're making contact with the first stone. You're well in front of the other stone, and you need to catch the back end of it coming across.
Even if you don't eliminate that top stone, you only have to move it. You move it 2 feet, you're out counting. All your rocks out count it. So
yeah, exactly.
And we know this team, as we've been saying, they can throw some upweight shots and
there's only
accuracy. So
just over 2 feet between those two rocks and where you're making contact. You're at the front end of that rock. It's there. They don't even necessarily have to kill the third one. I think that's one of the things they're talking about. You could come across into the side of that redstone, just nudge it over, and come back and sit in front of that redstone. Is not
also true. That's right. Yeah.
This is the kind of shot that could give you some momentum here. Kate Goodhelpson looking for the double anyway. It's got to be close. Comes across, touches it, and does sit on the back one. That's a great shot.
Moved the top red just enough so that they're 1, 2, 4 also, which I like. So they don't have 2 red rocks to deal with to bring that yellow back into play at some point.
Well, and left it in a good place too. We'll take one more look at the replay as it comes across, catches the back end of that stone, pushes it straight sideways, and touches the other red back. Now, by leaving that red stone out in the edge of the 12-foot, if Yoshimura tries that draw into the pocket again and makes it, you can come off that red stone and make the double, kick it out sideways. And if that happened very suddenly, 4 is in play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of danger here for Yoshimura in a game that looked like it was well in hand. Suddenly, this end could end up with a big number for Phillips if these last couple shots go their way.
There's nothing real obvious for her to hit either.
No, that guard is kind of killing them. You know, the one that they let stand.
The one that they didn't peel when they should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of shocking to me that they switched gears too. They peeled it the attempt before and then left it.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you would choose at that point not to peel. I mean, you're happy to just put another rock in the gutter, you know, and then shorten the end a little bit there. And I don't know.
She's aware that the double is there off the reds, obviously. I think what they're talking about is can they get to the inside of the yellow that was just thrown and at least kill it so that when she makes the double, she'd only be sitting 2 and not 3. She could probably even just hit it on the nose, do that too. At this point in time, I don't think she cares whether she keeps that red stone at the back of the 8-foot.
Right.
It's out counting the yellow on the other side right now, but it's also a rock you could jam on, so it might not be helping you.
No, I think if you can get there with the weight to get to nose and remove both, that's fine. But they're still thinking about crotching it right in the yellows, it looks like.
It might be there. It's not easy.
No. With the movement you get here, yeah, you might be able to get there, but it's tricky for sure.
Well, and if you're throwing the weight to get that kind of movement, do you have enough weight to kill both stones?
Right. Yeah.
She can probably see just all of the stone biting the forefoot from the hacks. If she was left-handed, she wouldn't be able to see all of it.
Yeah, I think about that all the time because I am left-handed, and then most of these players, I'm like, yeah, I'd be able to see that, or in this case, I wouldn't have such a good look at it.
Once they're by the guard, you may see them switch to try to get a little extra curl. There they go. Just hits it right on the nose. Jammed it onto the red and leaves it in the back of the 12. And so if you make the double, you're sitting 4.
Doubles, yeah.
You don't have to play it on this shot. You could just hit the red stone.
No, because if you just play that, you're sitting 3, and that red stone's not hurting you at all out there, although.
It's got to be tempting, though.
Yeah, you could just play it now. And
they're so close together.
You could get to a position where, and you could easily get to a position on your last stone where that's not really an option based on what Yoshimura does. So, I think you throw it now.
Well, plus the double, if you look at where your shooter's going to stay, it actually puts you in a great spot. Like, to get there going after the red directly, you'd have to get across the nose and get a little bit of a roll, which is tough because of where the guard is. If you make the double, your shooter is in a great spot.
Yeah, partially under the guard, and makes it even making a double there if Yoshimura wanted to would not be simple. And
well, she wouldn't be able to see them. She wouldn't be able to play the
double.
You wouldn't
be able to.
And she doesn't have an easy double on the other 2 stones either. Like
no.
This is almost a shot where, for this young skip, she's got to slow the heartbeat down sitting in the hacks because you're down 6-1 and thinking, oh, we're probably done. And she's got a chance to get 4 back here.
Yeah.
The pulse might be going a little bit here. Hannah Phillips with her first big weight looking for the double. They were on the brush early. It's going to over curl. She'll make the hit. Shooter hangs on for a nibble of the 12-foot. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th right now, though.
Yeah. I was curious if maybe they could hang it on to count that one on the corner, but no, looks like it went to 6th rock.
Still, what do you do if you're Yoshimura?
You have a big lead. I mean, you could, anything on the other side that
it's hard
even
to
if you're sitting 3rd and you give up 2,
It's hard to hit the yellow stone that's 3rd shot because there's a chance you jam it on the red behind and spin it back in. If you hit the 4th shot rocket,
there's no double and you're.
But if you you can't hit the 4th shot at the back of the house, you wouldn't be 3rd.
No point in hitting that.
There is some danger going after this one. You could
I think they're drawing instead. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that except you better make sure you don't leave a double.
It's got to be very good. That's all. The only thing they have working for them is they can be a little higher than the red on the left because of that yellow. You're a lot of angles. You're not actually leaving a double because that red will dead jam on.
And I think they're looking at drawing wide enough. They're going to give her 2. Like, they're not worried about getting 2nd shot here. They're just worried about making sure they've got 3rd beat. Because that's the thing. If you try to bring this close enough to center to sit 2nd, well,
then you're
closer together, and that's that was a big opportunity for Hannah Phillips, and maybe just not enough ice, or maybe didn't get out to it. It sure curled on her. She throws that up weight so well. She's still going to have a chance for 2 here at least. They played a good end.
Yeah, this was the end, by far their best end of this game, and really one of the better ones we've seen them play, as well as they played in the first game. Better, best end maybe they've played all day that we've been watching.
Sayaka Yoshimura with her final stone, looking to draw to the other side of the house. This is curling early.
They got to get it there.
Yoshimura going to jump up to help them sweep. Boy, that was a good job by the brushers. Where that crossed the center line, I thought it was just going to go sideways.
Yeah, I thought the way it was moving that it might have been a little late. And it was. I mean, they had to sweep it the whole way. But, yeah, ended up being, well, you made it perfect to just give 2 here.
Well, maybe a little disappointed to only have the chance here for 2, but 2 is what you needed to at least keep yourself in the game. Down 3 with 3 ends to play. You don't have to reinvent the strategy handbook to try to figure out how to steal 1 point at a time.
Yeah, if number of ends equals number of points down, you're still in it. Yeah, even without the hammer. Yeah, it's a long road, but it's a road that you can see in front of you. So
all of these teams have done that before. It's
absolutely
it's hard, but it can be done. It's when you have to start stealing deuces that, again, that can be done too. But you're hoping for misses. It's not just how good we play. It's we need a miss.
Right.
Hannah Phillips with her last stone makes the nose hit, stays right there. She will put 2 points on the board. Closes the gap. It's now 6-3 for Yoshimura. Yoshimura will have last rock in the 6th.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Six to 3 as we begin the 6th end here at the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Major, Beaumont, Alberta. Lots of curling. We're only 3 weeks into the season, at least as far as broadcasting for me here with Curling Zone, and a lot of curling yet to come on the Curling Zone network. You will see Martinsville, I think, with the men next week. There's events just about every week between now and Christmas, maybe every week between now and Christmas. Doubles, a couple of doubles events, some women's events, and then one of the things that Jerry had pointed out to me when we were talking a little while ago is that they've actually got some events after Christmas this year as well. There's a couple of events have been set out because with the men's worlds being in Canada, some of the international teams will be over here looking for things to play in ahead of time. So you might want to bookmark the Curling Zone YouTube page. There'll be a lot of curling to watch this year.
Didn't quite make the tick there. Yeah, it looks like a very full schedule on the curling stadium broadcasts this season, which is great. Great to see more more curling with commentary with this great coverage, just available all season long.
Well, they weren't able to get the first guard on the center line, but with the free guard zone violation when they tried to tick it and put it to the boards, a chance to throw the second guard, and for the second end in the row, perhaps Hannah Phillips will have some things to work with.
Yeah, trying to make a comeback like this, it's all you can ask for, is to have potential in the ends, have resources to work with, and then try to make the best of them you can. Usually need a half miss or something to go your way, but
yeah, not as bad when you only need to steal 1 point at a time.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's when you need to steal 2 where you need, something fairly significant for a miss. But
right,
you get to throw 2 guards that, if you put them on the center line, they can't do anything about it. They're going to be able to try to tick this one again. They're going after the tighter one to the rings, I believe.
I think so, yes.
Going to make contact. Oh, that's a nice split.
Yeah, we've seen them make a couple of those this game that have been, disregard the one they just didn't quite make. That happens. I don't know anyone who's ever made 100% of those tick shots, but the two of the 3 they've made, and they've made them beautifully.
A lot of the teams in the last few years have gotten very good at the tick shot, which is why they put in the no tick zone. But prior to that, when even teams of my own used to play it, we were of the feeling that if you threw the high one first, it was the harder one to play the tick shot on, because everybody wanted to play through the house weight or hack weight. Well, if you're throwing hack weight at a rock that's just over the hog line, that means you've still got 25 feet worth of weight, and you're trying to stop it within 6 feet. That's tough. Now they get it to split the center line, but that was the 5th rock, so there's no more free guards and no tick zone. Just going to go after the one on the center line.
Yeah, just looking to keep the middle of the ice clean if they can. Still no reason to do anything spectacular. As I said, they're up 3 with 3 ends to play with hammer.
Makes the peel, rolls the shooter to the boards.
We are at my club, Nutmeg Curling Club in Connecticut. For all the folks watching at home, we are, for our competitive league, which I run, introducing the no tick rule for the first time. And it's funny because it's a lot of people are saying, why do we even need it or anything? And well, maybe don't need it this year, but we kind of said the same thing about the I imagine the free guard zone when it first came out. Did you really need it? Because at the club level, are you making all the hits?
Yeah, true.
And 20 years later, can you imagine playing without it, even on a casual night at your curling club? And the truth of the matter is, even in our the top handful of teams, we're starting to throw ticks pretty well. It's not going to be too long before that continues to filter down, like everything does. So I think it's going to be a very good thing for curling to have that at most of even the sort of semi-competitive levels as the years go on.
Well, there's an unfortunate. I mean, she got a guard up, but it's still a miss, because now it's hit this yellow anywhere, and both yellows fly. You kind of, if you're Hannah Phillips, have to hope for a nose hit here. That's the only way you're going to have a guard left after this. Oh, she's very thin.
Yeah, left it thin enough to leave that guard, but
it's just a little spin back at the end.
Yeah, still got something to work with.
Well, and that guard by itself is now tight enough that if you had to come around it at the end, it'd be a little trickier. It was higher a moment ago on the other side.
Right. Yeah, I think, and I'm assuming she's throwing another guard here, and that makes all the sense in the world. You should do that for a while here, but that, as you said, that is a much more useful guard on its own if that's what you're left with on your skip rocks, for sure.
Yeah. With that guard being where it is, I think she could throw guards right through to her first stone here. Throw a guard even with Skip's first stone. She only needs to come around at once, right?
Absolutely.
And for that matter, this guard could bite 12 foot. You don't have a problem.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a true guard. Yeah.
You don't have a problem getting around a rock in the 12 foot on this ice.
No.
You want some separation. You don't want to give her the chance to play the double. And they're just not going to get the separation.
Yeah. Getting right there, yeah.
Oh, boy. Again, they're touching each other at the side. It's hard to miss it.
Yeah. Hit the one on the center line. The other one just goes straight sideways.
Got them both. Rolled the shooter through. I think you're throwing a long center now and hoping for a jam on one of those two rocks. Doesn't matter even which one.
Yeah, you got to throw at least one here. I think this is Vice's second rock.
Yeah.
Yep. She pointed up there. I think there.
Probably to leave it at a reasonable angle for jams, you might have to be a little higher on this one too. Maybe up around.
I think so.
Between the two logos up high. You get too tight, they could just hit half a rock and it goes underneath either of those two stones. This is going to be just a little bit too tight to the rings. Slides in to bite the 12 foot. You know, when it was going to be in that far, you may as well have swept it in. If you get the back end of the rock in, maybe Yoshimura makes a mistake and hits it on the nose.
Yeah.
Make the hit, roll towards the corner. Oh, just underneath the other yellow stone now. Will it spin back?
Very close, but I think it's just out if our
Yeah.
cameras are correct, but we don't know that.
I got a shot for you, Ed. It's a tough shot. It's a tricky shot, but you're in trouble. Half a rock on the yellow and roll them both into the rings.
Ooh. It's tricky, but you're using that red rock also.
Well,
which is,
what else have you got, right?
There isn't much, you're right. And then maybe you can
Well, if she only gets one of them,
guard
then,
something on your last rock, yeah. Or make her draw against two, something, right? Yeah.
Here's the thing: it's a possible shot, right? You're not in a spot where you get to pick easy ones anymore. And it's there.
Yeah. And
I mean, it can be made.
It's a makeable shot. It's not, it's the kind of thing. Yeah, if you just went out there and threw it just to throw it, I think you make it a reasonable percentage of the time, it's not a.
You almost have to throw it with some weight because
you would
just to roll them into the 12 foot doesn't help. You got to try to roll them both into at least full 8. Give yourself a reasonable chance to steal. She didn't see it. So they're just going to try to come around. And this is one where you're trying to come around. You don't even necessarily need a dead bury. Just bury a sliver. You're just hoping they maybe crash the guard coming by.
Mm-hmm. I know they're curling a lot, but this one's got a long way to walk over.
Yeah, it's the weight more than anything else. Her
big.
line wouldn't
Yeah.
be bad if she had the
Yeah.
weight and it looks strong. Might be hanging on for a bite at the back of the
Yeah,
12 foot.
that one's
Doesn't
more
really-
likely to be in the house than the red one.
Sayaka Yoshimura just looking to draw to the 8-foot herself, not trying to get behind that yellow stone at all. Just sit shot rock in the 8-foot. She'd probably like to stay at least a foot in front of the tee line. If you're back of the tee, you know that Hannah Phillips is going to have to play the freeze to it. Sitting one already with a 3-point lead and a chance to split the house. One hand up from the brushers. Cleaning though. As long as they stay in front of the tee line, they should be okay here. Still skating, but she's pretty good.
That's fine. Just off her hand with the weight it needed. Yeah, anything behind the tee line is a gift for the Phillips team there, and I think they're looking like they're going to try to go around that one, which is also
That's
that's what you got.
Maybe could be a little bit thankful that on this ice it is possible. She needs to pull a little bit of weight off it, and not just like you look at where her last one is. She's just biting the 12-foot. She's going to have to be back 8-foot anyway, but really out of her hand, she probably needs about 7 feet less weight. You want to give the brushers room to maneuver that rock behind the guard. If you throw it there cold, they can't really do anything with it.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, this is one that needs to be worked.
Well, the ice will give you that. If you give them the weight to do it, they could put this rock pretty much anywhere you need it. But you have to give them the weight so that they can wait for it to start to break, and then they can sweep it into position. Just cleaning early. Line looks okay. Line starting to look really good. The line was looking so good that I think Kotani put her brush down and was trying to decide, I'm not sure I want to sweep this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think she's going to help them out by sweeping at that point, because you could even have gotten it a couple inches more buried and still been counting. I mean, it was a beautiful shot where it ended up anyway, but
you look at the replay and you could just kind of sense that's what's going through her mind. The more I sweep it, the more it's buried, and I don't think I can get it far enough back. Looks like she's just going to try to follow it down and nudge it, and that's probably the right call. They thought about the run back. Here's the thing, though. You play the run back and don't make contact, it's a steal.
Well, she's not. It looks like she may just draw for one. Now they're looking at all the shots. Okay.
She wants to play the run.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded playing the draw to try to get down to it and move it,
scoreboard,
because she just threw the draw to that corner anyway. So she could play the same shot she played if she throws that little bit more weight. If it overcurls and she touches the red one, she rolls into the 4-foot anyway.
Exactly.
And because she just threw it, I'd have no problem throwing it again. She's got a pretty good idea where she needs to be. the run back, she could make it. It might be for 3, and that could be handshakes. But, this is the easiest way to give up a steal. It's just over curl on this and miss it.
Sure.
Miss the back one.
Yeah, the idea in your head to finish the game can be pretty tempting sometimes.
Brushes her on hard early. She's not getting the back one.
Nope.
She is going to hold the shooter, though. So it'll be a single point for Sayaka Yoshimura. She takes a 4-point lead now. Hannah Phillips having a quick discussion, but if you're only down 4, you got last rock. I think you got to keep playing.
I would agree. I think you try to get your 3 here and then see what happens in the 8th.
Phillips will have last rock in end number 7.
This team would give them that kind of opportunity. Oh, that's it.
And while we were in the break, they decided that's enough. Phillips shakes hands. Yoshimura moves on to the playoff round tomorrow morning. We've got our 6 playoff teams set. We want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight and all through the preliminary portion of this event. Championship Sunday starts at 9 a.m. local time. Shawn, Joyce, Ed, Scimia, we were happy to bring this qualifying game to you as well as the semifinal this afternoon. We'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning for Championship Sunday.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline.
I mean, I could see the body language in even before.
Well, yeah, you could tell they were talking